Hi, Dr. Helen Purchase. It's my honor to present my summer project, which is infographics classification. I'm going to talk a little about my project, where I have two standalone programs. The first program was developed to verify the categories of infographics devised on my own observation. And then I will go through the second application, which is to rank the infographics on the basis of ease of understanding. As we can see, this is the first application. And this is the introduction screen of the first application, where there's a brief guide to perform the task. Once the subject has read this instruction manual and the brief introduction, they can press the start button and it redirects us to the next page, where we can see the page is divided into two parts. On the left side of the screen, thumbnailed infographics appears in a group of 6, one after the other. And on the right hand side of the screen, the 9 predefined categories, which included an extra category called Other, is demonstrated. The intention of adding the category named Other was if subject feels that any particular infographic does not belong to the 8 predefined categories displayed on the screen, they can put it into the category named as Other. To make sure this whole process runs as smooth as possible, some extra features such as zoom in, zoom out function were added. On hovering over infographics, we can see that the infographic examples are magnified. And once you take the cursor off, they are zoomed out. As you can go on any of the infographics and see the zoomed in version. At the same time, you can see the 9 predefined categories. If the subject hovers over any of the category, the description can be read. Also, an undo button is added if in case the subjects made a mistake during the classification or is not happy with the classification, they can always undo their last move. I'll demonstrate how these can be dragged and dropped into the categories. This is how we can drag and drop the examples of infographics into the desired categories. As you can see, once all the 6 infographics are placed into the desired categories, the page is again reloaded with more infographics on the left-hand side. If you're unhappy with your last move, you can always undo and this will come back here. Once all the infographics are placed into the categories, which were around 200, the results can be seen into the database and could be compared and analyzed. Moving on to the second application, which is the ranking application. The purpose of this application was to rank the infographics on the basis of ease of understanding. As we can see, this is the introduction screen, which shows the brief guide to perform the task. On pressing the start button, the page is redirected to the experiment, where again the screen is divided into 2 parts. On the left-hand side of the screen, we can see 9 boxes, which are the levels for the ease of understanding. 1 denotes that it's the easiest to understand, whereas 9 denotes it's the hardest to understand. This was appropriately communicated to our subjects before running the experiment. Similarly, the infographics can be dragged and dropped according to the subject's perception. Again, in this program, we have an undo option. If in case they are not happy with their moves, they can always bring them back. Subjects are not allowed to leave the application in between. If they try to abort the process, if they press done, it gives an error message that please move all the images from right to left. On pressing OK, it brings it back to the screen. Once the ranking is achieved for all the 9 categories, Done button can be pressed and we can see the result again in database and analyze those results. Thank you very much for your time.